Well, hello, my name is Evelyn Paulins, and I just want to tell you what Dr. Tron has done for me. Last year in, I guess it was February, I woke up one morning and I had this excruciating pain in my shoulder and my neck. And I thought I had slept really funny, so I decided, well, I'd wait a couple of days and see how it was working. So each day got a little worse, and I tried to doctor myself up with medication and rubs, and it didn't work. So finally I ended up having to go to the doctor. And when I did, I went to my personal doctor, my family doctor, and so she said she could see that it was hurting me, so she sent me to another doctor, and she said, well, they're going to take and check you out and see what's making your arm and your shoulder so bad. So when I went there, they said, well, we'll take an MRI and that way we'll see. So they took the MRI and they said, well, in layman's term, it was like a pinched nerve in my neck, and it was affecting my arm, my whole right side. So I decided, well, what they wanted to do, they said, was give me a shot in the neck, and I didn't really want that, but I made an appointment to go into the clinic and get it. And so they gave me the shot, and they said, well, that should clear it up, and in about a week, call us back and tell us how it was going. Well, it didn't work. It just got worse. The pain was really bad now. So when I went back, I said to them, well, it's really bad, the shot didn't help. So they said, well, we're going to have to operate. And I said, operate? They said, yeah, we're going to have to operate because we're going to have to go in and see since the shot didn't help you. So I said, well, let me think about it for a week and I'll get back to you. So in the meantime, at church, where I go to Palmetto Land Baptist, my former Sunday school teacher, Ralph Owens, he was noticing that I wasn't really being my usual self. So he asked me what was wrong, and so I told him, I said, my arm is really hurting me, and it's traveling down my right arm, and I almost didn't feel like anybody could touch it. So he said, oh, he said, well, look, I have a certificate here from Dr. Tron, the chiropractor. So he said, why don't you go over there? And he said, you can get all, he said, get all this with this certificate, $20. And he said, he'll take x-rays and he'll tell you what's wrong with you. And I said, oh, I really wasn't thinking a chiropractor could do just about anything. Because I'd gone there once before, years ago, not to this one, but another one, for a sciatica in my hip, and it didn't work. So I was a little leery, but I figured, well, for $20 I'd do it. So I came over to Dr. Tron's office. It's like Low Country Chiropractic. And he came in and we had some talk, and he said, well, what I'll do is I'll take the x-rays and see what I can do for you. So I wasn't really too happy about it, but I figured anything to get rid of the pain in the arm. So I did. He went and he took the x-rays and everything. And he said, well, what do you think? I said, well, he said he could help me. He said, he knew what it was, and he said that he would help me, and I would be able to, my arm would get a lot better than it was now because it was really, really bad. So I said, okay, we made an appointment, and it was probably around the 1st of April last year. And I came in, and he made an adjustment to my neck. And then he did that first meeting, and I was surprised that it did take a lot of pressure off of it. The pain was still there, but the pressure that I was feeling was gone. So I felt a lot better about it. So then I said, well, my shoulder and my arm down here was feeling a lot better. The stabbing pain in my neck and the upper shoulder here was really lessening out, the pressure was gone. And it was feeling a lot better, except till I get to the elbow, and then of course it was really hurting me and down into my hand. And you couldn't do anything. It was like, you couldn't do housework because you couldn't hold the broom. You couldn't pick up anything because your finger had to be, couldn't touch anything, and you had to pick it up with 3 fingers and a thumb. And that wasn't working. So I was having a terrible time with it. But each time that I came, I felt a little better, and it was going pretty good for a while. And then about, I'd say into a couple of months in, 2 or 3 months in, it began to feel really, my elbow got a lot better. And I didn't have to sit all the time rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it. But my hand was still bad. My finger was still bad. And I couldn't really do anything with it. So what I ended up just not having to do anything at all. And he told me it was let me see. It was called subluxation. And so I figured, well, as long as I didn't care what it cost, what it called, all I wanted to do was make sure that it would get better. And the more I came, the better it seemed to get. And I said, well, when I went to church, now I could at least greet people and not shy away from it, not, say that I couldn't. I'm sorry, my arm is here is too sore. I can't touch you. You can't touch me. But I felt a lot better, and I began to, as I came and I got more treatment, my hand began to feel a lot better. My finger began to get better, and I just felt a lot happier. That now all the pain was just about disappearing. And now a year later, my hand is really fine. My finger is fine. My arm is fine. My neck is fine. My shoulder is fine. And I owe it all to Dr. Tron, because I really didn't think that chiropractic would do anything. And he proved me wrong. And I'm so glad he did, because anybody that has anything wrong with them, the place to come is come over to see Dr. Tron, because he really knows his business. And rather than have an operation where you don't know what the outcome is going to be, and usually it's not good, then it's better to come to a chiropractor over to Dr. Tron's office and get the relief from your pain and also get you well. And I just want to tell everyone that I'm happy and I'm glad I have no pain. And I'm glad I came to see Dr. Tron.